Hello YouTube, B3 here, back with another kicking action figure review. Today's review is over the DC Direct, or DC Collectibles, Deathstorm figure. Yeah, it's from the DC Comics Supervillains line, and it's one of the Crime Syndicate members from Forever Evil, New 52, which I haven't read yet. I read Trinity War. I read all of Trinity War, every single tie-in. A friend of mine had every issue. He bought all the issues for it. He was following Justice League of America, which was really created to go into Trinity War. They've been working on Trinity War since the New 52 started. And, you know, Flashpoint rebooted the universe and everything. But, you know, I love the Crime Syndicate, personally. And this gives me a chance to get all of them. I didn't want the Mattel box. All I wanted was Ultraman and Owlman from the Mattel box, and I have the Ultraman. Still haven't found an Owlman by himself. But these guys, you know, they're really cool. DC Direct has picked up their game. They have almost Marvel Legends-esque articulation, but still that fantastic DC Direct detail. And they haven't even gone up in price unless they're deluxe. And the last deluxe figure I got was only 30 bucks. Like, wow. But yeah, Deathstorm's the first one I got. Oddly enough, he was cheaper at my comic shop than he was on Amazon, only because I'd have to pay for shipping on Amazon, though. That's the only reason, because it was from a third party and they didn't have a Prime one. And you could have waited for a Prime one, but I really wanted him because he's super cool. And I'm not familiar with this character yet. Yet! I will be getting the Forever Evil graphic novel. For sure. Since I'm getting Justice League graphic novels and stuff, I still have to get Justice League Volume 4 and Trinity War graphic novels. Might hold off on Trinity War for a while since I have read it already. But this guy looks so cool, and I love Firestorm, but I don't have a Firestorm, so I figured I'll probably love this guy as well. But yeah, I know I don't show the packaging a lot, but I just wanted to show the packaging for this guy since DC Direct has done all this stuff with their packaging. But yeah, DC Comics Supervillains Deathstorm action figure. Nice little window with Deathstorm and the pilled back, which is kind of like the D is pilled back for DC. And there's a picture of Deathstorm on the side, measures approximately 6.75 inches tall. Sculpted by Gentle Giant Studios. Here's the rest of the Crime Syndicate on the back. You have Deathstorm, Power Ring, Ultraman, Superwoman, Johnny Quick, who comes with a little Atomica. And I wanted a figure of her from Mattel, but getting a little one with him is great too. And Owlman. So, yeah, pretty cool. And then, you know, you got Deathstorm on top and a little read-up about the Crime Syndicate. And also Deathstorm. And then this kind of silhouette of Deathstorm on the side. DC Comics Supervillains on top, Crime Syndicate, window from the top. Really cool. So yeah, let's get this guy out of packaging now. And here he is, folks, the DC Collectibles Deathstorm out of packaging. And he's really cool. I thought his arm articulation was going to be garbage, but it's not. It's really cool. Yeah, let me give you a glance at articulation real fast, just because I really want to talk about the arm articulation. So it's kind of like, you know, a lot of side-to-side movement on the head and stuff, and up and down, and you can wobble and look around and etc. His head, he kind of reminds me of Black Lantern Firestorm. You know, they might even have the same head sculpt. I don't know, I don't have a Black Lantern Firestorm. I'm pretty sure DC Direct did one, though, in the later Blackest Night series. But he's got an ab crunch right there, as you can see, painted all the way up. Really love that. Up and down on the arm, forward and back also. And, you know, it just looks like it's just straight. There's articulation inside there. It's a rubber cover. The articulation's on the inside. Huh? Huh? Pretty awesome. Sadly enough, though, on this side, it's detached. It's broken. My arm on this side is broken. It doesn't move. That was a cow. It doesn't stay. I don't. But if your arm does break, at least it stays on, right? It was already broken when I took it out of packaging. I didn't break it afterwards, but it doesn't make me happy. It's still great, though. It's at least well executed on this side. I don't know if a lot of people are having trouble with these joints, but it works. You can kind of turn them inside there too, but it doesn't turn up here, which is bad. No bicep joint, which I don't really like, but I guess it might have been necessary for this thing they're trying out. I would kind of just prefer to see the joint, to be totally honest, and have a bicep swivel. But this is a good idea. At least they're trying new stuff. You can't really get mad at them for that. I do like this figure. He is really cool. So you got that forward and back on the wrist there, and a wrist rotation also. Pretty cool. Same on this hand. And a waist joint. And a little swivel there. Forward and back on the leg. In and out on the leg. Thigh swivel. Double knee bend. You guys know I love that double knee bend. And up and down on the foot. And he has an ankle pivot, but in order to utilize it, you gotta turn the foot sideways. Like, the ankle pivot doesn't actually pivot until the foot is sideways, and then it's up. And I don't really like that. I don't know what's up with that. But at least we have, you know, articulation down there. You can pose him and stuff. But he's actually a really cool figure. Very nice. So, yeah. Now let's talk about detail and paint. His fire hair stuff looks great. I mean, it looks fantastic. He's got the red flames, very clear. Just, it looks wonderful. And then his skull face looks fantastic also. You got that clear orange back in the eyes too. So it's like you have light shining through the flames. It kind of comes out his eyes, which is really awesome. And he's just got lots of great detail and paint on his whole face. He looks terrifying. Great painting here for his Deathstorm symbol. It looks fantastic, I have to say. Very, very fantastic. It's super clean, and as I said earlier, painted all the way up the joint, which is awesome. And he's got this nice kind of crimson-y red. I like the shiny black we got here. Flatter black. There's paint shading on this guy too. He has some paint shading, very dark paint shading. You probably can't really tell on camera, but it's there. It is definitely there. He has paint shading and a nice shine on here. Detail on the bottom of the feet, peg hole. Here's his backside. I mean, he's a really cool looking figure. I'm glad I picked him up. 25 bucks too, which, you know, these DC Direct figures lately have been totally, totally worth the price, in my opinion. But yeah, now let's get into some size comparisons. First up, here's Deathstorm with some other DC Direct figures. Here on the left we have the Blackest Night Black Lantern Superman. Very cool figure. You know, Deathstorm had me thinking about Black Lantern, so I had to pull one out. And I really love that Superman figure, by the way. But yeah, they scale up well together, about the same height, you know. Very, very cool fight. That would be an awesome fight, by the way. Assuming Deathstorm's powers are similar to Firestorm's, that is. Once again, have not read Forever Evil. Waiting for the graphic novel. And over here on the right, we have the Arkham Origins. I always want to say City. Arkham Origins Deathstroke figure. Very awesome. Very glad I picked up this Deathstroke. I have the Arkham Origins Batman and Killer Croc, but I normally use this Deathstroke with my Arrow, Green Arrow, and Deathstroke 2-pack. Because let's face it, the Arkham Origins Deathstroke looks a whole heck of a lot like the Arrow Deathstroke. He's a great substitute. But yeah, you know, he scales up well with Deathstroke as well. Deathstorm is scaling up well with all my DC Directs, it looks like. Now here's Deathstorm with some Mattel figures. I have the DC Universe Classics Wave 20 White Lantern Flash. And he's too big for White Lantern Flash. You know, Deathstorm is too big. And he's also too big for the DC All-Star New 52 Superman. So, yeah, not really working with them. Not working out at all. But it would be cool. You can get a New 52 Superman. And I also believe a White Lantern Flash from DC Direct if you want. But the articulation won't be as good as Deathstorm's. I would love them to make another New 52 Superman for DC Direct, though, with the improved articulation. Because we're getting another New 52 Batman, you know, alongside a New 52 Nightwing and a Talon. Definitely be getting the Talon. Don't know about the Batman. I have the Arkham Origins, and that's good enough for me. And lastly, here's Deathstorm with some Movie Masters figures. You have the Movie Masters Green Lantern Sinestro on the left, and the Jor-El from Man of Steel on the right. Obviously, Deathstorm is too big for both of them, and he's too big for every Movie Master. Movie Masters are scaled down. And the Man of Steels are almost as big as DC Universe Classics. General Zod is as big as DC Universe Classics, the Armored Zod. But that still doesn't mean they're going to scale up with DC Direct. If you want to do a crossover or something with Marvel, though, Marvel Select is what you would want to use with DC Direct. I feel like most people already know that, just thought I'd throw it out there. And I feel like most people could have assumed these scalings as well, but I love watching size comparisons. So all in all, what do I think of the new 52 Deathstorm from the DC Supervillains line? Well, DC Direct did a good job with this guy. I honestly believe that. And everything on him is perfect except those arms. One of my arms is broken. It might just be me, but it makes me wonder, how fragile are these arm joints? I would really just prefer to see the peg, have the elbow bend, and then a bicep swivel instead of that joint. And while it does look good covered up, I feel like I can't bend it as far as I would be able to bend the normal joint. And I'm optimistic for DC Direct in general. They're trying new stuff. They've been able to keep their fantastic detail and give us articulation, but it seems like they're trying to hide it. I mean, hiding articulation is fine. You can do it. SH Figure Arts does it all the time, but, you know, the more stuff that they throw in and try to do, the more expensive these guys might get. And I'm good with 25, but I don't want to start paying like 40 bucks for these, you know? I don't want that to happen. These are great figures. I love them. But that's just so much. 25 though for this guy I think is a fair price. He's a really cool figure. All in all, 4 out of 5 stars. His only flaw is those arms. I wish they were different, I really do. But they're trying new stuff and they look good. But when you try to move them and stuff, it's like, whatever. But Deathstorm is cool. The Crime Syndicate I know and love is cool, and I'm sure the new 52 Crime Syndicate is cool as well. I'll be getting the rest of their figures for sure. I know Johnny Quick and Owlman are already out. I'll have to pick them up at some point. My comic shop runs out of these fast. I got the last Deathstorm, and I got him like 2 days after he came out. So, yeah, really cool figure. I recommend him if you're Crime Syndicate fans or Firestorm fans or whatever, or Justice League fans. But, you know, if you're just picking him up as a figure, think about what you want first. See, that arm articulation is the only problem. The rest of him is perfect. Love it. Love what they did with the head and the eyes and the flames and stuff. I love this figure. But those arms there, they're not making me happy. So yeah, that's it, you guys. As I said, rate, comment, subscribe. Check out all the links in the description below. Links to Facebook, Twitter. We'll follow you back on Twitter. Also, other YouTubers that are doing some great stuff. Some of them are toy guys, so check them out. Also, my other channel is The Slender Happening, which is my horror drama suspense channel. Not to mention B3 Productions, which has other action figure stuff and comic book stuff and all kinds of cool vlogs and stuff on there. Go check it out. And Super Friends Benefits, which is my gaming channel, so check that out as well. But yeah, that's it, you guys. Once again, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all later.